I'm curious because obviously you have a passion. Like this is fun for you, right? You talk about the city saver.
I get joy out of this.
Like you get a lot of joy.
People are like, what are your hobbies? I'm like, finding hacks,
finding ways to save money.
Yeah,
I'm curious to because now you're in a different financial situation than you were 10 years ago, right? Like you are in the success level of life. Have you noticed some things have changed? Like, do you feel like, oh, okay, well, I used to be super, super tight, and now I've kind of eased off a little bit. Has it changed, or are you like, do you have the same exact consumption behavior and habits that you had a decade ago?
You know, that's a great question. I think I truly have not changed. I think I've let go a little bit because I value time a little bit more.
Okay.
And so I'm willing to let go for convenience sake.
Okay.
So things that I could do myself, or, you know, if it takes 4 hours to research the trip, I might just go like, I'm going to get the travel agent to do this for me because I just don't have the energy anymore. Yeah. I'm getting old like you guys.
Yeah, of course, right? We're well seasoned.
There's always been things I'm willing to pay for, like getting someone to mow my lawn or like handyman work. I'm not the guy who's going to be like, I'll find the YouTube video of Rick in his basement showing me how to fix the dishwasher. I'm like, I'm calling the professional to do this for $50. We literally had a handyman come by, put floating shelves up, and we just ate Jenny's ice cream while watching him do this.
You just sat there and watched.
For $50 an hour. I was like, this is the best entertainment money could buy.
I think that's amazing.
So things like that I think are still worth it, but I have let go in some ways. And my wife is bougier than me and has better taste. So I feel like I was a tightwad with her where we would talk about things. I'm like, I don't know. And now I'm like, go.
Like you don't fight her as much on those purchases. You're like, hey, if you're going to go do the thing, that's okay to do the thing.
And there's less tension now. And we're just so driven that we still have big financial goals. So it's not like we've hit this pinnacle and we're like, all right, we're letting the foot off the gas. Whatever you want to, we're doing it. We still have more and more goals. And now that we have a baby on the way, we're like, we got to get the 529 going. The baby's going to add some line items to the budget. We want to get the high quality organic food. And so like all of that plays into it. So it just allows us to make those choices with a little less brain calories.
Are y'all both savers? Because obviously you're a saver. Is your wife?
We had this argument last night because I told her, I was like, we're going on the show. They're going to ask who's the spender and saver, and I don't want to offend you because in my mind,
because she's a huge fan of the show, right? She watches every episode.
She doesn't miss it.
She's a big.
I can't get her to watch my show, let alone yours. I'm going to be honest.
I share that.
You feel that? So what I will say is we're both very conscious. We're very similar. I'm kind of in the boat of like, if you eat your vegetables, then we can have some dessert. So I'm the saver spender nerd in a sense, where if I can just get my savings goals done, I feel good about spending what's in the budget and doing it, you know, with some diligence and some research. So it's a really healthy mix to me. I'm not perfect in any way, and I've done dumb. And, you know, I told her, go look at the Amazon purchases. Who is the majority of the purchases by? And it was not me.
Well,
I felt good about it. But she's like, it's for the baby. It's for the baby.
I feel like because I don't know if you get this too. I get that all the time too. Hey, this is not for me. This is for the family. No, we're doing this for the family.
It's so easy to justify
we
things.
We need this artwork on the wall, so we create a homey space because it's for the family. I hear that stuff all the time. So I'm right there with you. I feel your pain, and it only gets worse as the babies get older.
Yeah, I want to, as the older guy who's in this young man sandwich here right now, I want to kind of lean into, because I want to give the viewers something that they actually are like, man, I'm not getting that anywhere else. This guy right here, I almost said something else, but when he first, I was fortunate enough that I knew him before he was married, and then I got to see him get married, and
see him blossom.
That's right.
We did a whole show on and it's a great one if you want to go check it out in the archives, where I asked him before he got married, what's the dollar amount that you and your spouse are going to have to talk before you can just spend without getting permission? And he came up with something like $15-20. Do you remember?
It was $50, I think.
Was it $50?
I think it was $50 or maybe $40. Or something.
I bet it was lower. Somebody will fact check that, put it in the comments. But I want to know, did you guys have that conversation? What is the dollar amount? Because I imagine you are one that talks with your spouse about money so that y'all kind of are on the same page with things. Do y'all have a dollar amount? And if so, how much?
100%. I would say it's generally $100. $100 purchase is like, let's run this by each other. Like, hey, I'm about to spend this. Are you good with that? And of course, the budget reflects how much we have to spend on these things. But here's my wife's hack that I'm sure many spouses out there do. She'd be like, hey, I'm about to spend $500 at Target, but I needed different sizes and different options, and I'm gonna return pretty much all of it
Every time.
And so that
I had
hurts
this
your
conversation 2 nights ago.
But it's so confusing because you're like, well, is she gonna? I guess she's really spending like $40. I don't know. Like, you don't know.
And there's no
until
way to track it because when you're looking at the app, when you're tracking the budget, when you're seeing the spending, you have
Yes.
no clear reconciliation on that.
So that's a real tough one for me, and that's how she kind of gets around this whole thing.
That's
Like, I'm
her
gonna
money
return
hack.
most of
Her
it.
money hack is doing that.
Because I'm like, well, we're for sure not going to spend $500. Like by the end of the month, the budget will reflect that we did not, in fact, spend $500 at Target. But in the interim, you see that money leave your bank account, and you're like, oh God, we just spent $500 at Target. And then who's going to go do the returns? This guy.
You do the returns?
I'm the returns man.
wow.
Okay, now, so here's
We'll use a buddy system sometimes. I'm not going to act like, but I'm the guy. Like if you're gonna have a tough situation, you got no receipt return, and I got to put
You're
up
the
the
controversy
stink.
guy.
And here's what I did at Target. This was a brilliant hack. That is a bonus hack for you guys. I went to Target and I had the receipt. Weird loophole in Target system. If you buy something from Target and try to return it to a different Target in the same day, they will not let you do it.
You have to wait a day?
You have to wait 24 hours.
Probably a crime.
It's some kind of system.
Yeah.
And so I was holding the receipt and I said, are you serious? Like we were just at the Franklin Target now. We're at Cool Spring. I can't return this. She said, no, you got to wait 24 hours. And I said, what if I didn't have a receipt? She said, well, you could do a no receipt return. And I just crunched up the receipt and I threw it away. I said, I'd like to make a no receipt return. And her face was just like,
What?
this man has just like
he's broken.
They just saw the Matrix.
I just glitched the Matrix. It was one of the most satisfying, joy-filled moments I've ever had when it comes to shopping and spending.